What's up, guys? Welcome to another edition of Inside Major League Pickleball. We've got another fire guest on this week. Can't wait to introduce one of our very special pros. But first, a quick thanks to our sponsors. As always, every week, Pro XR, the official paddle of MLP, the only paddle custom fit for your grip. Knockaround, the official sunglass partner of MLP, quality shades that won't break the bank. And Aura Organic, the official nutrition partner of Major League Pickleball. As always, I'm one of your hosts, Mish McMahon, one of the broadcasters of Major League Pickleball, Tyson Apostle, the reality star legend, Casey Patterson. We found him. We dug him up out of, some ditch on the side of the road, and we found him this week. We're so happy you're with us, Casey. Welcome back. And now, last but certainly not least, she is a 16-year-old phenom in the sport. So by that, you probably can guess who we're talking about. Her brother's a pro pickleball player, but she is the greater Johnson, is what we're hearing. Her mother is a professional pickleball player. Jorja Johnson is with us this week. She's been with the Florida Smash all season long. Jorja, thanks so much for joining us. The Smash have been a contender in most of these Major League Pickleball tournaments from the installment of. But 16 years old, you're a professional athlete. I want to go back to the beginning of this pickleball journey. Where and when, what was the origin story for you of pickleball and when you discovered it? And then also we're like, oh my gosh, I can make this my livelihood for the next however long in my life. You could probably do another 20 years out of this. Yeah.
70.
You're putting yourself in a great position, the peak trajectory of the sport.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me. As far as the background of my pickleball career, I started at the same time as the rest of my family. A neighbor actually introduced us to the sport. And so he taught us how to play, gave us some paddles. And then when we moved to Florida from Kansas, there was tons of pickleball courts. And so we didn't really know anybody in Florida. So we just kind of went out and played, all four of us together, my mom, my dad, and me and my brother. And that's originally how we got into it. And then my mom started playing more and more, and me and my brother kind of followed along and started playing a few tournaments about 2 years ago.
Did you come from a tennis background, or was this just straight to pickleball?
I didn't have much of a tennis background. I played a little for fun, but no official training or anything like that. And my brother played a lot of tennis, and so did my mom and dad. But I played softball, and so pickleball was more my first racket sport.
Okay. Well, what percentage of your winnings do you give this Kansas City neighbor now that you guys have hit the big time?
None. Zero.
None? Okay, I guess it's
Sorry,
fair. There was
Dawn.
no contract. Sorry, Dawn.
Sorry, Dawn. No credit to you. I bet she's like, that's Jorja Johnson. We used to live next to her.
Yeah.
She's famous now.
So you find pickleball. You're at the top of the sport right now, and you're only 16. Is this what you're doing? Is this your future plan for the next decade or two? You're only when I was 16, I was I think I already went over this. I was I'm going to eat a bunch of snow cones. Then I'm probably going to take a nap. I'm going to play some video games.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to do some odd jobs around my parents' house so that I can make enough money to go out to dinner with my friends.
Exactly.
Well, I'm not sure where pickleball is going. It's definitely a wild ride, because it's such a new sport and there's so many changes happening. But I would like to play for as long as possible. That's my plan, as long as it would make sense for me to play. I really love the sport, and I love playing with my family, and I love the people I've met in the sport, and especially with MLP just being added recently in the sports history, it's just made it so much fun. And I would like to play for however many years the sport will have me.
How are you able to stay grounded in all of it? Because I would imagine at your age, it could be easy to get wrapped up into all of the hype, all of the noise, everything that's going on. Your family's a couple of phenoms involved in the sport. How are you at your age able to stay grounded in who you are and what it all means?
Yeah, I think time off is really important from playing, just to like kind of get back to like what you used to do before you played pickleball, because it kind of took over my life. And just taking time off just to like do some things outside of the sport. For example, like me and a couple pickleball friends just went to Busch Gardens this weekend and had a lot of fun just away from the courts for a little while. And yeah, I think it's important to just take time off for yourself.
Did anybody at Busch Gardens?
What's that?
Take time off from your family as well?
No, my family definitely keeps me
you grounded. Okay.
Yes.
Did anyone at Busch Gardens recognize you?
No, they did not.
So,
but actually, Travis Rettenmeyer's daughter was there, coincidentally, the same day.
Did she recognize you?
No, I didn't see her, but he let me know that she was also there to keep a lookout.
Yeah, he has her watching you to make sure that you're taking care of yourself and are in peak performance. Jorja, so let's go back. So you're 16, you're going to ride this ride as long as you can. This is your plan A, but you're only 16. So I'm assuming there's some school involved or education or something. Do you have a plan B? Like if pickleball doesn't end up working out, do you have like rocket scientist or something else that you want to fall back on?
Nothing that exciting. I want to be a park ranger for a national park.
Okay.
Cool. That's exciting.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Kind of cool job.
Yeah. Do you have a park that you in mind?
Really any park. Like I would like.
There's some boring ones. There's some boring ones. You want an exciting park.
Maybe something in Colorado.
Okay, there we go.
But only for like the 6 months, like where the weather is nice.
Okay.
Not during the winter. I can't.
What are your recommendations, Tyson? You got to help her out.
Well, you can get online and Google like the rankings of the national parks. Yeah. I have a friend who's trying to visit them all in reverse order because he doesn't want to be blown away by something exciting and then go to like a boring one somewhere.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, so cool. You start at the bottom. Most of them have at least one cool feature, but some of them are just like Glacier National Park in Montana on the Canadian borders, supposedly super sick. And
Yosemite National Park.
Yeah.
Yosemite, yeah. So there's a lot of cool ones, but there are some bummers out there.
Yeah.
And
there really are.
And that's
so dream big, Georgia, is what we're saying.
Yeah. But also like I tried to work for the national parks and you have to have a college degree.
You did? What?
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't.
That was
Are you making this up just to try and fit in the conversation?
I went in and talked to them, and they were like, "You have to have a college degree." I was like, "Oh, then I'm not a fit. I'm not a fit for this."
So how long do I have to get that? 6 months?
Yeah. Did you try too, Casey? Is this a thing?
Me?
Yes.
No, I wanted to be a veterinarian. I knew every breed of
my dad's
dog,
a veterinarian.
What?
Oh.
Yeah.
I wanted to so bad when I was young, and then when I got older, I realized I was allergic to dogs. So that's a huge bummer.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a terrible bummer.
Okay.
That's a death sentence for me.
So is there something you could do, Jorja, like right now, like maybe like dress as a park ranger when you play just to put that out there? I think it would be an easier transition.
The MLP team have the park rangers.
The Rangers.
That would
park
be
rangers, yeah.
No, that's not a bad name, the Rangers.
I mean, you just named a team, the Georgia Peaches, I think.
Yeah, I did.
Missed opportunity.
Yep.
Still, though, Georgia Peaches is just like ripe for the taking. Yeah, it is. How often do you have to correct people on the spelling of your name, and do you resent that?
I have given up trying to correct people on the spelling of my name, and it's funny because people will comment on my own Instagram and they'll spell my name wrong, and I'm like, it's right there. They get really close though. They spell it Jorga. So what else? It's okay.
People are funny. They're
They just have to save it in their autocorrect on their phones. They have to save it the right way and then never mess up again.
Yes.
That's the trick.
What's the response? Okay, so going back to the Busch Gardens conversation, if you're talking to a stranger, which sometimes I imagine you do out in the public, and they're like, well, you're young, so people are not to the age yet where they're like, oh, what do you do?
Yeah.
But what are general reactions to people you don't know when you tell them you're a pickleball professional athlete?
Actually, I don't tell people that. I just tell them, like, if I'm talking to a stranger on a plane or something, I'll just be like, I'm traveling for a pickleball tournament. I don't know if you know what pickleball is, but it's a really fun sport. You should try it sometime. I don't really bother.
And are they like, oh, pickleball? Or they're like, oh, I got to try pickleball.
90% of them have heard it or tried it before. So that's always good. Because if I have to explain what pickleball is, I don't know, like,
give us the explanation. Weird. So like, I'm a stranger. I'm sitting on, I'm assuming we're in first class here. You're sitting next to me. Okay. We're on the plane. And let's say, okay, so I'm in first class, you're back in coach. I have to go to the bathroom, but the first class one's use.
Yeah, you go back.
So I'm running back and I'm like, I'm in first class. I can use any bathroom, the one back here or the one in the front.
Exactly. Or George is using the one in the front.
And I'm pushing because you can't come from coach up to the first class.
I do it all the time. I'm a rule breaker.
I would stop you. I'd be like, this is for us.
Bust open these curtains. Yeah. I need to go.
So I'm running back through the aisles and I'm like, you're standing there ready to go into the bathroom and there's somebody in there that's taking a long time. And I'm like, hey, so pardon me, I'm coming from first class. Can I just like step in front of you to use the bathroom?
Yeah.
And you're
like, I have to wait.
You're like, no, you cannot, sir. Everybody has to wait here. And I'm like, that's a weird concept.
Are these the bathrooms for the peasants?
And then the person in there is taking forever. So we start up a conversation. I'm like, oh, so what do you do? Well, why are you traveling? Are you going home? And what's going on? And you say,
no, but with Georgia,
I'm going to a pickleball tournament.
You would have to be like, where are you going to it, bro?
And then I'm like, pickleball? What's that? And now what do you say?
I'm like, it's a cross between tennis and ping pong, a little badminton thrown in there, and it's a racket sport. So you use like a big ping pong paddle. Normally I have my paddles on me, so I'm just like, this is what it looks like.
Even going to the bathroom on the airplane?
Yeah, it's always on me. Yeah. Where would I go without it?
That's true.
And I'm like, and then hit it over the net, and it's really fun. You hit people all the time.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really angry.
Well, then it creeps into immediately. Then I'm saying, if I'm Tyson, I'm taking his spot. What kind of training do you do? What's that look like?
Yeah. Is that a real sport?
Yeah. That's what I would ask.
It is a real sport. I mean, you would train, I assume, how you would almost any other sport. A racket sport, that is. You go out, you drill, you get in the reps, you play rec games, you work out in a gym. It is a real sport. It does take time and commitment.
Look at Casey's face. He's not believing it at all.
How long did you go from just playing rec for fun to like seriously drilling and taking it like really serious?
3 years. I just played rec for like 3 years, and then about 2.5 years ago, I want to say, I started playing tournaments and getting more into like the pro side of it. I only recently started drilling like for a year now, because I did not have the patience to drill, but I definitely see it's so boring. It's like so boring. You gotta,
I went to class. Why do I have to do homework?
Yes. Yeah.
Does it get better, or it's always boring?
It does get better, like especially when you get more consistent, because it's so frustrating when you first start out and you just like dink 3, you miss it, and you gotta go pick up all the walls. So
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I have tried drilling once or twice, and I'm like, get me out of here. Get me in a game.
You gotta do it like on a cloudy day where it's not so blazing hot. And then it gets like slightly better.
I'm like
do you get away with like 30 minutes of drilling, or do you have to do an hour?
2 hours.
No.
Well, let's go.
That's what I do. I would way rather drill and talk about theory and like patterns than just play. Playing, I get so bored. I'm the opposite. If I'm just playing rec, or if I'm playing and everyone there isn't better than me, I'm like,
then how are you not a pro yet?
That's how Casey feels when he plays me. Oh my God, I never knew.
No, because our commentary is so elite. Our commentary is so elite. That's true. What gets me fired up. But like drilling, I love it so much more. It's so fun. I love it.
No one is like
unique. Yes, that's what I'm saying, Jorja. I'm Team Jorja over here. No one likes drilling, Casey.
How are you not drafted yet, Casey?
Because I have 5 kids and I don't ever get to go play tournaments.
Sounds like you're drilling enough, though.
I'm ready.
Like doing too
I just
much
don't get
drilling.
to go play tournaments.
Georgia, talking about all of this and explaining pickleball to the guy on the plane, what is walk us through a day in the life of Jorja Johnson, the professional pickleball player, from the moment you wake up. So you wake up, then what? 4 coffees and smoothie, and then hit the courts?
Well, I can just describe today for you, which would I say pretty typical.
Okay.
I woke up this morning, had some breakfast.
Early or sleep in?
I slept in because I wasn't drilling until like 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Oh, what's sleeping in for you then? Because I would
okay.
pretty early still.
No, normally I sleep in. But drilling's probably like 9:30 most of the time.
Okay.
But I do like to sleep in.
Sleep in is what to you? Like 11? We're talking noon? We're talking 10? Okay.
Like 9, 10.
I like that.
I'm having dinner by 10. That's perfect.
Okay. So what kind of how much drilling? What are you doing?
So today I did an hour and a half because I had a podcast with you guys.
Classic.
And so I am at I'm inside, but I am at a pickleball place today. And after this, I'm going to go get some lunch. There's a nice bowl place right around the corner. So that's what I'm planning on. And then I'm going to go play at 3 o'clock. And then I have dinner with my family at 7.
Nice.
So you're going to lunch. Are you constantly, is every decision you make pickleball centric? Like, are you like, oh, I'm going to eat this for lunch because I need these nutrients for my games later today, and then dinner the same? Like,
no, I wouldn't. I'm not really a diet person, but I do eat gluten-free and dairy-free because I have allergies. And just because of that, really?
Yes.
You guys are the same person.
Yes,
because I have an autoimmune disease because I can't have them.
Oh.
Cheers.
You guys are so lucky.
Do you want to play? Finally a partner.
Lucky.
Okay.
I want Hashimoto's so I can be gluten free. I'm just kidding.
It's amazing.
I don't. JK.
Okay, so that's pretty typical. Like, you drill pretty much every morning. You get some drills in, do some drilling, and then move to games later in the day.
I would say like 3 times a week or 4 times a week.
Okay, so
like 5 times a week.
Okay, so how many hours a week are you on a pickleball court that we're not seeing? Like, because we see the tournaments. So not tournaments, how often are you standing on a pickleball court?
That is a good question.
30, 40 hours a week, longer, less?
So if I'm drilling 4 times a week for about 2 hours each time, 8, and then playing for 2.5 hours, 5 times a week, you do the math. But
we're 25 hours ish. Yeah, 20 to 25 hours. And then what extracurricular fitness things are you doing to also stay in shape? Because we see your brother doing beach workout stuff like a long time ago. He doesn't post those as often, probably because he's secret training. He doesn't want others to steal his methods.
In the back cave.
No, so he does it so early that we can't get anybody to go film him.
Oh.
Well, I've already had dinner. I can do it.
Yeah.
I'm up at like 4.
He's set. So what else are you doing?
So I like to do kickboxing, which is just like with Millie, Millen, Rain.
Uh-huh.
And we just do that together for fun.
Yeah, who has the higher
been doing
kick?
It longer.
What? What did you say?
I said she's been doing it longer.
That means nothing. That means nothing.
I don't know. I like to hit the bag as hard as I can, and Millie likes to hit the bag as fast as she can. So I think we can do it a little differently.
So let me decipher what you're saying. You're better. You think you're better. You probably are better, but you're too humble to say that you're better because Millie's your friend.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know if there's really like a better. You just kind of hit the bag.
I think we get you in a ring together. Figure it out.
That's every time
Tyson give me the punching bag.
Every time I come back from kickboxing, Dylan and JW will ask me, "Did you kickbox Millie yet? And did you win?"
That's hilarious.
I don't think they quite understand what we're doing.
Can you get them there? Do you think you could ever get them to kickboxing?
I would like to see that, actually. I think that would be hilarious.
That would be good.
Do you think J-Dub's a better golfer or kickboxer if you just had to guess?
I mean, I would assume he'd have to be better at kickboxing. Golfing is like, the bar is on the floor. Like, it can only go up.
That's so good. Do you guys ever get... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, you go.
I don't think he can get his hip or like his leg above his hip. So I don't know if he could kick it very well. Like, I don't think his hips can move that way.
That's why he stands like that at the kitchen line, not because he chooses it. It's he's not flexible enough to bend his knees.
He needs to do yoga.
Yeah.
I know. He does want to.
Get him into some pigeon and stuff.
Let's talk some Major League Pickleball here. So you're on the Florida Smash. You've been with the Florida Smash all season. Mm-hmm. And you're playing with Travis Rettenmeyer.
Yeah.
And you had Jesse Irvine and Colin Johns. And then what happened? What happened there? Why did you need to mix it up? Because on paper, this team looks quite powerful. Like these four players could win an MLP event.
Yeah.
So what wasn't working?
It was more of a like an energy kind of. We didn't match up super well.
Who has the worst energy?
Who has the worst? Just different energies.
Yes,
it's not
smart.
Bad or good. It's just,
you handled that like a pro, Jorja.
That was perfect.
different styles of playing and different I don't know how else to say it other than celebration tactics, kind of.
Can that throw you off? The different celebration tactics, like.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely say I feed off my partner's energy a lot, and Jessie is more of a cool player. She does get fired up, but I would say in a different way than I do, and I think that we decided that it would be better for all four of us to split up, and yeah, we'll see. I think it was a fairly even trade. I don't think any one team got the way better deal, and I'm excited to see how it will work out for both of us.
I get what you're saying. I am an energy person also, and so if I was with a partner that played more within themselves, that would be hard for me. But that doesn't make them less of a good player. And Casey, you could probably relate to that too.
Yeah.
With the beach volleyball team.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think that's huge. Like I need somebody that's like,
if they're like that, even if I know they're probably upset with themselves, I still feel like they're mad at me, and I'm like, and then I'm worried about them more than playing, and I'm like, are you okay? Are you sure? Did I mess up again? I'm sorry.
Are you blaming me?
Yeah, when you gotta let me hit the windmill on the dance floor. Like, just let me go, dude, and then be fired up if I do it. If not, be like, we'll get the next one. Like, you need that. So then you're always up versus like, they probably hate me. I'm sorry that I tried to speed up and win the game. I apologize. I feel like that's definitely a big part of it.
On the flip side, I feel like there are people that prefer the steady Eddie, which I think it goes both ways. But
is there anybody that prefers their partner to be secretly mad at them, and they can feel that though? Like what? Like what Casey's
No, I don't think so.
Because I played last night, and my partner kept apologizing, and finally I was like, "Bro, stop apologizing. Just play point to point. You play your game. You're gonna make mistakes." But I'm also going to make mistakes, and I'm not going to apologize to you for them either. I'm not going to say my bad.
I like that.
And it smoothed things over. So you change your energy here, Jorja. And it's Vivian David now and Kyle.
Right? Yates.
Right? And how's the energy feeling?
Well, we just had our first team practice and it was feeling good. I've actually played on a team with Kyle before.
Yeah, the Hard Eights, right? You guys made it to the championships.
Mm-hmm.
And
something similar happened like last event. We traded 2 of our players for Sierra and Kyle, and it was a lot of fun. I think Kyle is more of a fiery player, and he likes to play more like kind of speed up quickly, kind of like Travis. So I think they should match up really well. And Kyle and Vivian had just come from the same team, and so that's good. I think we're going to have Kyle and Viv play together, and me and Travis continue playing together. And so it should be really exciting. Me and Viv have played together a couple times and done fairly well, so I'm really excited to play with her. She's one of my favorite partners and a really good teammate.
I think Travis was focusing on getting Viv specifically for you. When he came on the podcast, he said he was like, I love Jorja. I want to keep Jorja, and we need someone that meshes well with Jorja, and I know Vivian does. So that was his goal initially.
Well, I was really appreciative of that, and I'm excited to see what we'll do together.
Does that make you feel any extra pressure knowing that that change was made specifically for you?
I could see maybe a little bit, but
I mean, I'm sorry I brought it up. I don't watch it now.
It wasn't until now.
She does.
Travis
she probably didn't think about it until then.
Travis told me that, I'm kind of banking off of you and Viv doing well. And I was like, okay, Travis, I'll try my best.
Thanks. Let's talk about Travis.
All right.
You're like, well, I'm banking on you and Kyle doing well.
So Travis is in a unique position. He's a team owner and he's a player. Did you tell him he needed to trade himself? Was that ever on the table? Were you like, Travis?
Travis.
Like what? Like, how do you navigate that relationship? Is it different than the team you were on last year because your owner probably wasn't as close as Travis is to you? And is it better or worse? Or different?
It's definitely different. It was kind of funny because we were at this team dinner and we kind of got in this, not argument, but like discussion about like where we should have drafted Travis versus where he was drafted. And so
he's in the conversation.
Very far out of it. What's that?
And he was in the conversation?
Yeah, we were all there. We were all talking about it. And so, I was like, whoa, this is kind of awkward. I mean, obviously Travis is, if it was anyone but Travis, I would be like, whoa.
He loves it. Yeah, he's different. Like, I'll take it. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't care, but most people would definitely care, and I think that would be really awkward.
So was the common sentiment that they agreed where he went, or they disagreed, obviously?
So most people agreed where he went. Jesse thought maybe we could have gotten 4th round. So
fourth round Travis?
Yeah, 4th round Travis. So maybe we could have held off on drafting him 3rd. But
and how would have that shaped the team differently?
Yeah.
I mean, probably we might have gotten the only problem is that might have left 2 kind of left-sided guys, which would be better for mixed, but not so good for our men's doubles, or there might be just a bit of, chafing. Yeah, confusion as to who will take the left. So
who would it have been?
Well, I don't know who was left because I was a 2nd round pick, but
you did, once you were 2nd round pick, they didn't bring you in and be like, who should we get for the 3rd round?
No, I was
no input whatsoever.
For the ride.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, sweet.
Like that. Zero liability then.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, well, I didn't participate, so I'm not the reason.
It's not my fault.
I wasn't the one that picked the team.
Yeah, exactly. I take no responsibility.
And then if they say,
you might be young,
listen,
but you're
I'm
wise.
16. How old are you? Why aren't you better? You're not even 16.
Just play the age card when all else fails. I don't know, guys. I'm 16.
So I would do that all the time. How good were you when you were 16? Oh, you didn't play it yet?
Weird. Which so with Viv, which side would you then play on?
The left. Vivi loved her right side.
That's right.
I'll take the left.
Yeah. 2 strong backhands too. That's exciting. Speaking of which, I have to know where did that lethal backhand start to come into full force for you in your career?
Oh, my backhand? I would say that was like my original best shot because I already had it from tennis, like from playing tennis. My dad taught me how to do a 2-handed backhand. And so, yeah, I think my forehand definitely had to catch up in that aspect. And my forehand, it wasn't as good when I first started out.
Like on the dinks, you incorporate like so much wrist too with your backhand in particular. So I find that interesting because that's not a tennis shot. No, because I didn't do much tennis. I knew the how to hold it. Well, not on my forehand since I do it like this, but on the backhand, like kind of like that, and use my wrist for torque. Cool.
So, since the Florida Smash season hasn't gone as probably foreseen or planned from the get-go, is the team doing anything? So you made the trade, but is the team doing anything else in their preparation to San Clemente, which is in like a month?
Yeah.
Well, me and Viv Kyle and Travis live near each other, so they've been practicing together, and me and Viv will be playing Atlanta together, so that's kind of like some sort of prep.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're really excited to see how the changes will, affect our team and affect how we do at MLP.
Do you have any rivals? Like, who's your biggest rival in the sport? Like, I know there's another teenage girl, I think, that plays pickleball.
That's right.
Do you have any rivals? Would you, or like, is there somebody particularly that you're like, oh, I love to like really battle them?
Oh, I would say I'm kind of friends with everybody. There's no like animosity.
But it can be a friendly rival.
Yeah, like who do you enjoy playing the most? That's what I would say for sure.
Against. Who do you enjoy playing against the most?
Her brother.
Well, it was always such a good match when I played my brother, so I didn't like beating him, but it was always a really good match.
Yes, that's what we wanted. What's your biggest pet peeve about playing with him? That he gets in the way of your backhand with his forehand? Get out of here.
Oh,
right?
playing with him?
Yeah.
He just never calls the balls. That's my only pet peeve.
Is it because he's too quiet?
Yeah, I don't know. He's too quiet or just doesn't think to do it. So
I can see that. I'd be frustrated.
We've been working on it.
How is that? And you could probably work on that off the court too, just like around the kitchen table and just stuff. Just be like, if you're gonna get in my way, just say, "Got it, I'm here." Like, what?
Exactly.
How are you working on this?
Well, every time he doesn't do it, I'm like, J-Dub, you gotta call that ball. Like,
and does he seem to get that?
And he's like, "Oh, fine."
It's like added energy.
You need to start so like a cuss jar. When everyone says a bad word, you put money in. Anytime he doesn't call the ball in a game, he has to put like $5 in, and then you'll make like a couple thousand after a tournament.
I know. Yeah,
I love that.
Yes. That's a good idea.
What about your biggest pet peeve with him off the court?
Ooh.
Off the court.
What isn't a pet peeve? I'm just kidding.
Off the court.
I think I know this. You told me this once before. When he wakes you up in the morning with the dog.
Oh, he does wake me up in the morning. Or sometimes he's late. Like yesterday, I asked him to pick me up, and he was like 45 minutes late.
What?
Oh
45?
Oh my gosh, I'd be Googling how to divorce my brother at that point. I'd be like on Google, probably even use AI because you could probably have an AI lawyer.
Yeah.
Did he text you? Did he text you
No,
he was late?
Didn't answer any of my calls. I think he kind of forgot.
Oh my gosh.
Kind of like he doesn't call the middle.
I was like, please pick me up with like a crying emoji.
Please.
Georgia, I am so sorry that happened to you. Like, for real. Like, nothing more. If you're 45 minutes late, that's like Casey times 3.
Exactly.
I was going to say.
And I at least text message.
As soon as the podcast starts, he messages.
I'm not going to make it.
Hey, guys, sorry. No, sometimes we hear after the fact, we're like, is Casey okay? And he's like, hey, guys, sorry. I don't know what happened.
So what's the conversation like at that point? Like, you get in the car. He's 45 minutes late. Are you like, bro, where do you call him bro?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Well, it was Dylan's fault too. Dylan was with him and they like got sidetracked doing something.
I know what happened. I know what happened here, Georgia. He brought Dylan knowing he was late and he was like, she can't be as mad at me if you're in the car.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I was like, I went to this Chipotle that was like right next to the courts, and I was like eating some food, and he was like, hey, can you get me a Starbucks? And I was like, no, I'm not getting you Starbucks.
The audacity. 45 minutes late, and do you mind just grabbing me
hey, I'm gonna be late,
coffee?
So can you get coffee for me so I don't have to do that after I pick you up?
I was like, absolutely not. I'm not doing that.
Such a luxury, though. So you're 16, and you just see Chipotle, and with no planning about doing some odd jobs around your parents' house, you can just go in and buy Chipotle. Because I have to plan every day based on what I eat. I was like, okay, I'm probably going to eat like $40 worth of food. So I got to do $40 worth of jobs because I don't want to accidentally have extra money that I'm not going to spend that day.
Can you imagine?
It's absurd.
Oh.
Yes, I did just get a Chipotle. I'm wild like that.
Yeah, wow.
I'm wild like that.
She's working on a sponsorship with that Chipotle. That's what she's doing.
So sad for both of you, though, that you can't do the sour cream and the cheese from Chipotle, because that's arguably why I go there for the bowl. I'm like, skip everything else. Just give me the sour cream and the cheese.
You go lettuce, and then I do double steak.
Not even
guacamole,
lettuce. Skip
corn,
the lettuce.
And
just
then you
give
use
me
chips. Boom.
No. I also love the corn.
Did he do that right, Georgia? Did he do all of that right? Okay.
Well, no, I get a bowl too. I get white rice, pinto beans, barbacoa, corn, medium sauce, guac, and lettuce.
And the trick is, you guys probably already know the trick, is you don't tell them about the corn and the grilled veggies and stuff like that until they've already put the other stuff on, so they don't skimp on anything. And then by the time the bowl is like gigantic, and you're like, yeah, that's because you didn't think I was getting the corn. You never tell them in advance.
Wait, that's a good trick. I'm
and you don't ask for double. I'm going to go to Chipotle today. Can I have a little bit more steak? And they just put a little bit more on.
Yeah. Georgia, if you could automatically add one shot from any pro to your arsenal with no practice, no drilling, whose shot would it be?
Good question.
Maybe AJ's flick lob that he does out of the air.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's really cool. I don't think I could do that, especially when he does it from so low. I can't. It's really impressive.
Okay, the flick lob. So you think that's the future of pickleball? Probably is that. It is.
It could definitely come in handy.
Yeah,
when you go over their off shoulder out of the air, and you don't have to go high, but you just hit the trajectory perfect where they can't reach it in time, but it's still kind of like halfway flat, so it's fast. Oh, it's the greatest feeling.
Speaking of future of pickleball, if you could be on the board of Major League Pickleball and advise them on one positive change or thing to implement, or a couple, what would you say from a player's perspective?
I was actually just talking about this with Anna Bright, and we were talking about how, actually I think MLP does have this. but the PBA does not. The PBA has a delamination test, but they don't have a deflection test. So you can test if a paddle is delaminated, but you can't test if the original paddle is too poppy. So I think that would be like a good thing to have at every tournament, to be able to test, if an original paddle is just too powerful out of spec.
Right.
Interesting. Does it ever make you nervous going into those things? Like I used to do, and Casey, I think, used to do some drug testing too.
Yeah.
For sport, and Michelle too. And I never took illegal substances, on the record. But you hear these stories of like, you don't have to, but you hear like these like tainted supplements or something can get you. And so every time you go in, you're like, okay, I think I've done everything right, but you still never know. Is there any part of that with all of this going on right now where you're just like fingers crossed, hold your breath, or you're very confident in all of your stuff?
I'm very confident in my paddles. I've never known a Franklin paddle to be too gritty or to delaminate. And it's not a very poppy paddle. Like that's not what it's really good for. But I prefer like not having to worry about it ever.
Yeah.
Like I've seen a couple players and, they just get so stressed out, having to worry about changing your paddle every match, or like if it's in the red or the green zone, like I would just prefer it to be perfectly legal and I never have to think about it.
You're like, I'll just use a old school wood paddle. I don't care. I just don't want to have to think about it because my game is what I'm working on.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
So you think that's the future, Casey? Wooden paddles?
Dude, I think everyone should just use the same paddle. All the companies combine, and it's just only one paddle across the board. And then
that's an interesting thought.
Wait, so all the companies make a monopoly?
Just get rid of it.
A monopoly? Yeah. Okay.
Just get rid of it. No, but because I think if everyone has to use the same paddle, I think watching the different skill levels and abilities,
that's actually an interesting
it's more
thought.
of like a superhero ability versus, he's using that gnarly new paddle that's like borderline illegal. And so it takes away from your skill or people's thought of how good you are.
Okay, but hear me out.
But I know that takes away from all of the brands or the money-making ability.
It's not any of that, but certain players have certain preferences in the shots that they're choosing, and choosing a paddle to go along with those shots that make their strength stronger and minimize their weaknesses. And so not all players are the same. Not all paddles can be the same.
So just better testing so that my theory doesn't have to be something that we'd ever consider.
It would be interesting.
Right? If we all had to use the same paddle, you'd be like, oh, that guy sucks with that paddle, but he's amazing with his. How embarrassing. Yeah. I'm good with any paddle. Why not? I mean, I think,
there actually was something like that. It was kind of not to your point. It was a very illegal paddle. It's the Vice that Diadem makes.
It's gnarly. It's like a baseball bat.
Yes, yeah.
I hit with it. You're like, oh my gosh.
Yes, and there was like a mini tournament.
Yeah.
And everyone used the Vice. And it was just like, I guess, just I don't know, for fun. And it was really interesting. Everyone was using the Vice, and it was basically just like who could control it and who could hit down. Yeah, because those things, it's so hard to control the ball in when you hit like a drive. It's like a rocket ship. It's kind of like, okay, let's all take steroids and see how gnarly we can be for one thing.
Let's not do that, Jorja.
Yeah.
Jorja, anything else before we let you go? I know you got probably Chipotle to get to, and then some games.
Yes.
I got some fresh kitchen on the way.
Oh,
nice.
Yes.
Yeah. That's where it's
now I know who to go to with lunch and any meals if I'm at a tournament. I got my homie
any
Jorja.
bowl place. I'll be there.
No dairy, no gluten. I'm going Jorja. Let's go. Yes.
I'm full gluten, full dairy. So
I wish I could be a part of a friendship one day.
I'll be your friend, Tyson.
Oh, yes. Cheese and I don't want sour cream, though.
Oh, why not?
Just because it's gross. The texture and all of it. I'm a texture guy.
But the Chipotle sour cream, like they put
Jorja, you're jealous that you can't eat sour cream. Is that the
I
face?
think it's sour cream.
Okay.
So I don't know what's wrong with you.
Yeah.
We're all
thank
on the
you.
same page here.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Well,
Thank you.
I guess
Once
I'm just
again,
eccentric.
no friends, Tyson.
I guess I'm just eccentric. I'm just eccentric. It's not weird. It's just eccentric.
Well, no, it's not. You're by yourself. It's not anything.
Fine. Jorja, what you got coming up? You've got PPA Atlanta.
Yep.
And then
I
where?
have the PBA in Dallas, the PBA in San Clemente, and then the MLP in San Clemente. That's like my next couple tournaments.
Me too,
right.
girlfriend. I'll see you at every single one.
Wow.
All right. Awesome.
I'll be watching from
Tyson,
what?
alone again.
Alone again. I'll be watching from my couch,
Alone again.
which is fine.
Playing that
thank
song,
you.
Lonely.
Yeah.
Mr. Lone.
One is the loneliest
Just
number.
eating sour cream.
No sour cream for this guy.
I will find friends after this. They will like me. They will accept me.
I'm too old to care about what my friends think about what I eat. Jorja, thank you so much for being here and for giving us your time. Super, super fun. Reminder to all of our listeners, if you want to see Jorja play in some of the past MLP events, you can go to MajorLeaguePickleball.net, click the Watch Now button, scroll through, and find every single thing that's ever been streamed from Major League Pickleball. You can follow Major League Pickleball on all social medias. You can follow Jorja Johnson on social media as well. Jorja. Yeah. And until next week, thank you. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Later.